clearly I am not the only one that has this problem, because I found almost, I think, close to 10,000, almost all 5-star reviews on this product. And I so get it, because I do live in an older beach cottagey kind of a home. And so a lot of the electrical, the outlets and the, the switches and things like that are on the older side. And so I guess I never really gave a lot of thought to why this happens so often in my house, but I'm guessing that this is why. Is what happens is when I plug plugs in, especially there's this one outlet right by my kitchen where when I vacuum, I always plug it in there, and the vacuum plug falls out every time. And it's so annoying, because I'll be vacuuming in one room, I got to come all the way back in, replug it in, happens constantly. And I end up going crazy with it, but it also wastes so much time and gives me so much frustration. But not only that, there's several plugs that do that. And I'm finding with technology these days, those power, cubes, if you will, they're getting heavier and heavier and bigger and bigger. And so if you have this issue where you have loose outlets or loose plug outlets in your house, they fall out constantly. And so not only is it annoying, but it also can be a fire hazard, and it can be a spark hazard. And so it's something that really should be dealt with. These guys, Salem and Joel, and I know they are here inside the chat, so thanks guys for being here. They created their buddies that were joking about this being a problem for them. And so they just together said, let's solve this darn problem. And they went on this 6-year innovation journey trying to solve this problem, and came up with several different solutions, and it never was quite right, but they kept at it and never gave up. And finally, bingo, they solved it, and they've patented it, and it is fabulous. And it's so simple. So it's called the Snug Plug, which, guys, I love the name. I think it's perfect because it says exactly what it does. This is it right here. It could not be more simple, but could not be more well executed at the same time. It is such a problem solver. So this is what the box looks like, and it is as simple as can be. This comes with 10 snug plugs, and I've got one here. They're clear, so I tend to lose them, but I'll pull one out. And this is what they look like. Very simple, but this is actually UL material, UL safety certified material. And all you do is put this inside the outlet that you're having an issue with. It just very easily slips in there. I did read a couple reviews. I will say that this has not been an issue for me, and I put it in about 4 outlets so far, but a couple reviews said they had trouble getting them in some of the outlets. And so the solution that they came up with, and I'm so glad you guys are here to tell me if this is a good solution or not, but all they did was cut a little tiny bit off the end, and then they were able to slide it in with no problem. And then from there, it worked beautifully. So at first they thought they didn't work and they didn't fit. Once they did that, they're in love with the product. So I just want to make sure that's not like an electrical hazard by doing that. So it's just cutting a little of the material off if you have that issue. But again, was not an issue for me at all. So yeah, you plug it into the outlet, and then every plug that you put into that outlet is going to suddenly fit so snug. You are, though, that issue of your cords falling out happens with my hair dryer, happens with my vacuum, happens with almost all of my tech things that I use. And it's, it's not every outlet, but it's several of them in my house. So I've only used a few of them, but I look forward to putting them all over the place. Let's see. Joyce is saying, my house is 62 years old, several loose sockets. And you know what, Joyce, if you have looked into it at all, what it costs to have an electrician replace those, which is the solution for most people, the average is between $80 and $150 to have one of those replaced. So imagine the money that this saves at $8.80 with your Grommet discount. You are able to basically almost replace, if you will, 10 different plugs. And then they have different variations. I think they have a 25 pack as well. And I'm not sure what the cost on the 25 pack is, but just depending on how many you need. So one of those very, very simple inventions, very simple solution, but boy, does it solve a big problem. And does it save a lot of money, a lot of hassle, and a lot of frustration. Let's see, any older, heavily used outlets become loose, especially in hotels, airports, cafes. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you brought that up, because that is a big one for me. I do travel a ton. And so when I'm in those airports and I'm trying to plug in one of my cubes, very few of them work anymore. It's like they never have updated them in the airports. And so they just fall out constantly. And so I really can't use half of them, most of them. And so having these with you in your travel bag will be a savior when you're at an airport trying to recharge your phone. So they're brilliant for traveling for sure. And you're right, hotels, same thing, lots of loose sockets. I would be curious what the statistic is on that, how common this is. I have to believe it's a ton. Yeah, and so the 25 pack, he just chimed in, is $20.99 with that Grommet discount. So for, each one is much less than $1 to save you what would have cost you somewhere between $80 and $150. So brilliant, you guys. Great, great solution. I am going to spread the word about these because I know this is something that everybody deals with on some level. And it's not only older homes, because when I was reading the reviews, I saw that's before the discount. Sorry. So it's $20.99 before the discount. So you're going to take 20% off of that. So that's fantastic. And I'm not that great of a mathematician to tell you what that is, but you guys can do the math, I'm sure. But yes, in reading the reviews, I found that many people, even with newer outlets, have this issue. And it can be an issue with the contact point and the way that an outlet was installed. And so if that's an issue on a new home, old home, anywhere, you can solve it with Snug Plug right there. So fantastic invention. You guys keep up the good work with that one. I will absolutely spread the word for you and we'll tell everybody about it because I love it so much. I love the simplicity of it. So well done, guys.